Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Find all the zeros for this, right? All right, so what's P over Q? 3 over 1, right. That's what you learned yesterday. P over Q is 3 over 1, like that, right? Okay, now what are all the factors of 3? 1 times, yeah, 3 times 1. 1 times 3 is right. And what are all the factors of 1? 1 times 1. So you see, that's all there is, right? So how many possible rational zeros do you have? Try again. 4, right. There's 2 with the plus and the minus. It's 4, right? Okay, so there's a grand total of 4. All right, now what's the next thing you do? You go to the calculator and you type in that equation to y equals, right? So we'll type into y equals. One of the old tricks you learned about yesterday. We type it into y equals. And then go graph it, right? Okay, so everybody good? All right, now there's one zero that's really obvious. Which one's that? Which one is obvious? 3, right? 3 is the obvious zero there. It's like, oh my gosh, it's easy. It's 3, right? So I'm going to put 3 in the box, right? All right, now tell me my numbers. My numbers are going to be what? 1, -7, 11, 3. You got it. 1, -7, 11, and 3. And go do synthetic with it, right? So go do your synthetic. And see if it comes out to be a 0. That's right. And it comes out to be a 0, right? All right, so everybody good so far? Once again, this is just like what you learned yesterday. Okay, now, next question. Is it in quadratic? Yes, it is. All right, so let's write the quadratic out. So it's going to be what? X squared minus 4x minus 1, and that equals 0, remember? All right, so now you ask yourself this. What two numbers multiplied give me -1, but add to give me -4? Yeah, right, nothing. Okay, so that means since I can't factor it, I have to use what? Quadratic formula. You got it. That's how this all works. Okay, so here comes quadratic formula. There's x equals. Okay, now you tell me, how much is -b? 4. Okay. Okay, plus or minus. Okay, now how much is b squared? 16.
How did that work again?
-b. B, remember, b is -4, so what's -b? Right? It's just quadratic formula like you learned first semester. Okay, now b squared is 16. Okay, now how much is -4 times the a times the c? Positive, negative. Positive 4. You got it. Positive 4. There you go. All right, and how much is 2 times the a? 2. Okay, you see, this is all easy stuff for you guys. You guys have all seen this. Okay? Yeah, that's what we're using. Okay. All right, now how much is 16 and 4? 20. All right, okay, so look what we got. We got 4, okay, plus or minus square root of 20 over 2, right? Okay, now you say, what's the square root of 20 simplified? Square root of 20 simplified. 2 square root of 5, of course. 2 square root of 5. Okay. Once again, that's old stuff that you're from geometry, right? We did some of this year. Okay. All right. And now you look at that and say, can I simplify that? All right. So what goes into all three of the numbers? 2 does, right? Okay. So 2 goes into the bottom, right? 2 goes into the top next to the square root, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. Okay. So then what's the answer come out to be? 2 plus or minus square root of 5, and then comma. What's the third one? And 3, right? Okay, remember we got to name 3 zeros. It's cubic, so there are 3 of them, right? So the answers are, oopsies, let's go backwards. Okay, the answers are, okay, 2 plus or minus square root of 5. There's 2 of them, and then the third one is 3, right? And there's your answer right there. And it's just like what we did. All right, so what's your Q over Q, right? It's -14, right, over 1. Okay, now give me the factors of -14. 114. 114, 2, and 7, you guys. See, it's easy stuff. 114, 2, 7. Okay, and then on the bottom, it's all ones, right? There you go. Okay, so tell me this. How many possible zeros do you have? 8. There are 8, right? There's a maximum of 8, right, that you get to choose from. Everybody understands that, right? That's what you learned yesterday. Okay, all right. Now, how many zeros are there going to be for the answer? There are 5, right? There are 5 zeros you're in search of, right? Okay, because it's to the 5th power, right? Okay, so here we go with the next thing now. Okay, go type it into the calculator and go graph it. type it into the calculator, go grab it. You're in search of the zeros, right? Okay, now there's one that's really obvious. Which is the one that's obvious? Two, right? Two's the obvious one. Everybody agree? Okay. All right, so let's go put 2 in the box. Put 2 in the box, right? Okay, now doing my numbers, they're what? 1, -4, 4, 10, -13, -14. You guys are beautiful. You got this down. You know it. You know it. This is good news. Okay, go do your synthetic, right? And you should, that's huge, right? This is a biggie, right? But you get 0 at the end, right? You're going to get a 0. Okay, all good so far? Okay, all right, so now we're going from 5 down to 4, right? Now we're in the 4th power, right? Okay, all right, now we're going to get another 0. Look at your calculator. What do you see? -1. Okay, so let's put -1 in the box. Okay, so now we're going to take what's left over, right? And put -1, oops, come here. Put -1 in the box, right? And we'll do it again, right? Just like what you did yesterday. Here we go. We'll do your synthetic with -1. And sure enough, it comes out to be a 0. So right, -1. Yeah, pretty good so far. Okay, all right. Now look at that. Okay, so now what we got left over is quadratic, right? It's not quadratic. Oh my gosh! Oh wait, what did I do? Okay, so here's the thing that's going on here. This is something you haven't seen before. This is something new. You got to really learn how to do this. It's very simple to do. So here comes the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little graph of what you're seeing on the calculator right now. Okay, so here comes the graph of what you're seeing on the calculator. Okay, here you got this graph right now. It's a dashed line. It's a dash. You understand what we're talking about. Okay. All right, you're seeing something like that, right? Okay, so look what you're seeing. You're seeing this graph is coming down and hitting 2, right? You put 2 in the box, you got a 0. Okay. It then comes up and hits -1. You put -1 in the box, it gets you a 0, right? Okay, so here comes the thing now that you got to understand. This is something new. The thing is, yes, it hits 2, and yes, it hits -1, but here comes the thing. It hits -1 going up, and then it also hits -1 going down. Okay, so it's hitting actually -1 2 times, the up route and the down route. Okay, and this is called, here's my -1, a double root. This is what's called a double root. In other words, there's not one -1, how many are there? There's 2 -1s. You got to train your eyes to recognize what you're looking at. So when you sit there and say, oh my gosh, I don't see anything else. Oh my gosh, look, it's going up, hitting the x-axis, and then bouncing right off of it and going back down. That's what we call a double root. You're going to count that number twice. Making sense? So what am I going to put in the box then? Another -1. You got it. I'm going to put another -1 in there and go do synthetic. And sure enough, looky there, it is a 0. There are 2 -1s as roots. One on the upside, one on the downside. Does it make sense? Everybody understand what a double root is?
Okay, it goes up and
It goes up and hits -1, and then when it's going back down, it's also hitting -1. Okay? So it's hitting it in two directions, right? Oh, okay, all right. Now, let me ask you, are we in quadratic form? Yeah, now we're okay. It's like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm in quadratic. Let's go put it, here comes a quadratic now. Okay. X squared minus 4x plus 7 equals 0, right? All right, so now you ask yourself this: what two numbers multiply and give me 7 and add to give me negative 4? Exactly, there is none. So what do I have to use? Quadratic formula. Okay, so I'm going into quadratic formula. Okay, so here we go. So here's x equals, right? Okay, put my little squiggly line there. Here's x equals. Okay, so how much is negative b? 4 plus or minus. Okay, now how much is b squared? 16. Okay, and how much is negative 4 times a times c? Negative 28. Good job. Okay, so 16 minus 28, right? Good job, guys. And then divided by 2 times a is how much? A is 2, right? Okay, good. Okay, so here's what we got right now. Okay, now how much is 16 minus 28? Negative 12. You got it. Okay, so here we go. So we got, okay, negative 20, I'm sorry, negative 12 over 2, okay, over 2. Okay, all right, now, very good. So now I was going to ask you, so now what's, okay, so what are you going to get for the square root of a negative number? An odd. It's going to be in the negative. All right, so now simplify the square root of negative 12. What's it going to be? Yeah, 2i square root of 3, right, exactly. It's going to be 2i square root of 3. Once again, all first semester stuff you learned, right? Okay, so here's what you're going to get. You're going to get, okay, 4 plus or minus 2i square root of 3 over 2. And now all you got to ask yourself is this: is there something that can be simplified there? Okay. All right, so what will go into all those? The 2 will, right? So there we go. So we're going to put 2 into that, and into that, and into that, right? Okay. So then, all right. So then, what's the answer you're going to get? 2 plus or minus I square root of 3. Perfect. You got it. So here comes my answer now. Now remember, there are 5 on the list, right? So one's going to be what? 2. One's going to be negative 1. Well, another one's going to be negative 1, right? Negative 1 you got to put down twice. A 2, and then 2 plus or minus I square root of 3. And you got the 5 roots. You got it. Very good.